Now, we know you absolutely love the foils that we have in our range, but we put this DVD together just so that you could get some really great inspiration on how to use them.
Yeah, lots of different techniques here, probably ones you've never even thought of, and I'm sure you'll come up with lots and lots more. Now, don't forget, you've got your acetate, you've got your parchment, you've got your coloured, you've got your white flowered foils. So listen, just sit back and enjoy and see what we've done with them.
Yeah, put the kettle on.
Huh? You'd look silly with the kettle on your head. First, take a piece of white paper and just place it on your work surface. And then take your piece of vellum with the design on. The gold is on the top. Turn it over so you've got the black showing through so you can see the design. Now I'm going to colour in the back of this with some vellum pens. Now if you don't have any vellum pens, try different fibre tip pens and see if they work. Now these are double-ended, so you've got a thick end one end and a thin end the other. I'm going to use the thin end. And all you do is just stroke the ink on there. And you're just doing this on the back very lightly, and I'm using pink here. You can blend the colours, but first of all I'm adding just some pink. And all I'm doing is stroking down. Now I've been doing that so you can see it, but the way you should really do it, if I turn this round towards me, is just stroke down like that towards you. Just touching and flicking down. This is the way I do it. So you've got the pen strokes all going in the same way, so it doesn't look a bit of a mess when you're finished. And just stroking down. You can leave some bits of gaps of white in between if you want, but I'm just going to stroke down the pink first. That finishes there. There you go, I've stroked the pink in there. Now I've got some orange here, or you could use any colour you want. And from the base there, I'm just going to stroke the colour in, just blending into the pink there, but leaving some white, like you get on a tulip. Or you could colour the whole thing any colour that you want. Just stroke it through there nicely. And then when I turn that over, you'll get a lovely effect there. On the opposite side, it'll be less strong. So that's the tulip heads done. Now we can start on the leaves. And I'm doing exactly the same with the green leaves. And you can leave some white sections in if you want for a little bit of highlight. If you go over the edge here, it doesn't matter because it's gold on the other side. Just go up to the lines on the leaves, etc., like you did with the heads. And I'm using the thick end of the pen on these, and I'm just stroking the colour on so it looks nice and even. You can also colour the borders in if you wish. I'm doing deep blue here and purple. So there you go, I've coloured in the whole of the parchment now on the back, and when you turn it over, wow, look how that looks fantastic. You've got all that gold shining and you've got those beautiful colours coming through. Next, either with a pair of scissors or a steel ruler and a knife, just cut round the edge right up to the gold there. Now what I've done now is I've put some double-sided tape on the back. I'm going to stick it down onto this white paper and just peel the double-sided tape off. Like so. And I'm just going to leave a little border all the way around, so let's just line that up there like that and stick that down nicely and neatly. Then with a pair of scissors or a knife and a ruler, just cut round the edge, leaving the same gap all the way around, so you've got a nice white border going around it. Now I've got an A5 card here, which is just an A4 card folded in half, and now I've finished this off. Now you can see what I've done here. You saw the first layer I did was in white, then I did this exactly the same but in a red piece of paper, and then another white piece of paper to frame it nicely, and then make sure your cards go in the right way, which it is, and then this just sticks onto the centre of your card, just slightly higher away from the bottom there, and make sure it's in the middle, and stick it down cleanly. And you've got a beautifully parchment painted card there. Now for this project I've got one of the parchments here with the foil design on. In this case it's the dog roses. Now we're going to do some embossing with this project, so you're going to need one of these rubber mats, and you're also going to need an embossing tool which has a large ball on the end of that side and a small ball on that side. So take your foiled parchment, turn it over, and then we can start embossing. Now I'm taking the large ball here on the end of the tool, and I'm just going to gently rub where the flower is there, the petal starts, and you can see that hopefully it's turning opaque, it's going white as I do that. Just gentle rubbing. If you do that hard you're going to break the parchment, but you just need to do a gentle rub, and then just stroke it down like that. So I'm doing some nice shading on the petals here, and just going in the same direction from the top, just stroke it down like that. See how that's working? Just giving nice shading there. Always go the same way. And then if I turn that round like that, you can see how that's nice and white, and if I turn that over you can see how that's white on there. And then this side I'm going to take the thinner ball end here, and I'm going to stroke it again from the centre and just do lines like that gently, and it'll look like nice veins of the flower, and go over each line a couple of times just so you get definition. I'm also going to do the centre bit here, but one tip is before you do the whole thing, so you don't get a black dot in the middle, is just cross it like that, and then gently using the large ball on the end there, the tool, just gently roll that around, and you can see how you've created that first petal there in white. You've got the nice shading of the petal. Then all you've got to do is continue doing that shading on all the petals, and then move on to the leaves. When you've done the flowers you can start on the leaves. I've already done some, and all I'm doing is just stroking the large ball over the top there and just embossing gently the whole thing. Now if you want to, you could, if you wanted to, just do veins like that, just using the fine edge like that and doing some extra veins. So it's up to you which way you want to do it, but I'm just going to do the whole thing so it looks nice and white. It stands out nice. So that's all the flowers and the leaves embossed from the back there. So when I turn it over you can see how fantastic they look with the gold. Isn't that fantastic? Looks stunning. Now let's make a card. Now what I've got here is a piece of card that I've coloured in with a rainbow effect. Obviously you can buy them as well. But then what I've got here is the foil. Now on the back, just along the edge here, and where the foil design is, I've put some double-sided tape and I've just peeled the backings off. So this can now then be placed over the colour section there, and just press it down carefully. You don't want to get any wrinkles, like so. and that'll bulb up a little bit there, but can you see the colours coming through on there, give it a lovely kind of colour effect on the edge there. And all I've got to do is just trim around the edge with scissors or a steel ruler and a knife. Now I've trimmed around the edges and you can see the colour of that card coming through the parchment, giving it a lovely kind of rainbow effect there, very subtle. Now I've got an A5 gatefold card here, that means it opens in the middle, and I've got my piece of beautifully coloured in vellum there and embossed, and I'm just taking some double-sided tape off the back here, like so, and position this onto your card, just overlapping but in the middle, and the tape is only one side, so if I press that down, get that nice and even, press it down, and then you've got the folk card that opens up like that. The card's very, very simple there, but you can decorate it up with peel-offs or whatever you like. Now this is a very simple technique. I've chosen one of the paper ones here. Thick paper it is there. That's the sunflower with the gold foil in there. And all I need is a board to work on, cutting mat, and a scalpel. And all we're going to do is cut out all the bits in between. Now one tip is start in the middle on the little bits and work your way out. So I'm just going to do this little bit here first and just go on the inside of the gold. Now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just cutting, but to make it easy I'm just turning the paper around, and just each cut is down towards me. And then you just get that on the end of your scalpel and just flick it off. There's your first cut, and then just keep going round. Find your little areas first. I've got some more up here. And just gently cut either side of the gold design and just cut it out carefully. Very simple and easy to do. Now I've cut out the top section here, but you can see here where it joins the gold foil, joins the gold foil here around the edge. You don't cut through there, that's what's holding it still onto there. So here and here you don't cut, you just start cutting out the rest of this here now. There you go, I've cut round the whole of the sunflower now, and where it joins there just keeps it in position nicely. Next what I did, I just trimmed it round the edge, and if I turn this over I've just put some double-sided pads on the back there. I also took a sheet of paper here, this lovely kind of shiny glittery one, and I put that down on the card. I had a bigger piece and then put that down, drew round it, cut it out slightly smaller, so that's going to fit onto the back that way there. Like so. So I'm just going to stick those two together now. I've got a slimline card here, just a plain white one. And I'm just going to stick this, I've got some double-sided tape on the back there which will just peel the backing off, and I'm just going to stick this down onto the card, and then I can decorate that any way that I want. For this technique we've chosen one of the cream coloured papers here with the gold foil on there. You're also going to need a paintbrush, just an ordinary paintbrush. We're also going to use watercolour pencils, and you just need a glass of water. Now we're just going to colour this in using the pencils. And I'm just gently rubbing over. I've got some yellow here I'm going to use in the centre of the iris. Don't worry if you go over the gold, because that's just going to wipe off once you wet it. And I'll put a little bit of yellow. So you can just be as rough as you like. You don't have to be an artist to do this. A little bit of yellow on there. Then I'm going to use a little bit of this light purple. And again, just stroke a little bit in there. Like that. Just gently stroke it in. Then I've got a little bit of the darker purple. And just blend that into where the light purple is. But obviously you can use any colours. A good idea is to get some seed catalogues or bulb catalogues and see what colours the iris are. There must be thousands and thousands of different ways that you can colour these in. Just get some inspiration, or look on the web, or go to the library and get books out. I've got the blue here now, just adding to the end, the tip of the petal. So I've got yellow there, I've got the light purple, I've got the darker purple, and I've also got the blue. Now you can see that. Now if you wanted to use ordinary colouring pencils, you could do, and just do it a little bit more gentler than that, and just, you know, streak them in nicely. And then all you need is your brush and your water and a little folded kitchen towel or something like that at the side of you. So you dip your brush in the water, and what you're going to do is the light colours first. Just gently stroke in the paint there, the watercolour paint pencil there. Just slowly dissolving it, and work from the middle outwards. And just a little bit of water there, just blend it in. You can do this all in one go. And you can see the watercolour paint gently melting there as it was. And you can blend that in. So simple, anybody can do this. A little bit more water, clean your brush, and then stroke the yellow into the purple and the blue. So you've just got a hint of yellow there, and they're blending in nicely. Too much water, a little bit more. Stroke it in. Don't be scared of it, just blend them in there. The colours will all blend in. You'll get that lovely kind of iris effect. Now as the paint dries, you'll be able to polish these up, and well, the paint is over the gold, it will then just brush off. So there's the first one. All you've got to do then is continue doing the rest of the flowers and the leaves. Now I've coloured all these in now, and I'm just going to blend the water in. Just treat each petal as, you know, individual petals. Not too much water. Yellow into purple into blue. Just blend that in. Simple. Anybody can do this, so if you're scared of it, don't be scared of watercolouring. Dead easy. All it is just adding a bit of water to it. You scribble your colours on there, and then just add a little bit of water. They all blend in, and then everybody goes, "Ooh, that's nice." What do you think, Barry?
Oh, absolutely.
So when you've done all your flowers, then you can start doing your leaves. Now I'm going to do a combination of yellow, a little bit of yellow on the tips where the sun's catching them, and just a little bit of green, light green, and just blend it in there nicely. You don't want any kind of real strong lines there, you just want to blend them in nicely like that. And then a little bit of green, dark green. And you can see I'm not being very particular, I'm just going over the gold there, don't worry about it. Then you can take your brush, a little bit of water on the tip of your brush, just wet the end there where it's yellow, and then just streak that down to blend into the light green and the dark green. And then you can streak it back up if you want to. And there you go. Simple, anybody can do that. Now when you've painted it, just put it to one side to dry. If it should dry a bit buckled, then just put it under a book for half an hour or so, and that'll flatten it. Or if you put double-sided tape on the back and stick it down onto some paper, it will flatten it out as well, which I've done here. I've put some purple to match the purple in the flower as a background layer there. I've also put some double-sided tape on the back there, ready to stick onto my card, and I've got an A5 card here with a gold effect, almost embossed effect on there, and I'm just going to stick that straight in the middle, slightly higher up though, and you can see there how beautiful that looks now it's finished. For this technique I've chosen one of the acetates with the violets on there, or pansies, whatever you want to call them, and we also need some pens which will work on the plastic. So put some white paper underneath, that's the foil there, you can see on the foil on the top. Now turn it over so you can see the black there on the back side of the foil. And then using the pens here, I've got the yellow one here I'm starting off with, and you just literally colour in. But instead of doing it onto paper with like felt tip pens, you're doing it onto the acetate from the back using the pens to colour in. And it's just like you used to do at school, just colour in and have fun with it. You also blend the pens if you wish. I've got the nice cerise one here, and I'm just doing the inside of the petals, just stroking that out. And don't worry, you can go over the black line because it won't be seen from the other side. These acetates and foils are so easy to use. And I've also got the dark blue one here, and then from the edge I'm just stroking that in to meet the cerise, and they just blend nicely together. And it's always best to stroke your dark colour into your light colour. If you did it the other way around, your light coloured pen would end up with just the dark colour on, it would make it really messy. But this way, if you stroke onto the light colour, it's not going to make the pen tip mucky. There you go, so that's the first flower there, and if I turn that over, you can see how that's been beautifully coloured in there. Very simple and easy to do. It's like a stained glass window. Now I've started colouring the leaves in already. Now I've got no light green, but I'm going to use a little bit of yellow, just a little bit of yellow there to blend in. Now put your light colours on first, because if you blend your light colours into your dark colours, you're going to have very mucky pens, as I said. So a little bit of yellow on there first. Always put the lid back on when you're not using it, because they do dry out. And then just stroke in your green. Like that. So you're getting all the ink going in the right direction so it doesn't look too messy. And just blend it in with the yellow there. And it goes on beautifully. So there's the flowers all coloured in now, and the leaves, and you can see this is the black side. So when you turn it over, ta-da! Look how fantastic that looks, eh? Looks like a real stained glass window. Now we're going to put that into an aperture card. Now I've got a simple white aperture card here. If you've not got an aperture card that fits exactly, just cut an aperture out there. That's going to go over the top there Now you could cut the frame out, put that on the outside and the design on the inside if you want to, but I'm just going to stick this over the top very simply. I've got a glue pen here, and you'll find the acetate sticks to the card really easily with just a little bit of a glue pen. So put that down there, then position this over the top, make sure it's in position properly, and that should do it. And then just stick it down like that, and then you've got a beautiful card with like a stained glass window effect. Now for this project I've taken one of the acetates with the sunflower on this time, and we're going to use mulberry paper with it, and I've got some in brown, green and yellow. Now what I've got here, I've got the acetate with the gold on that side, turn it over so you can see the black there. I've also got a little blob here of PVA glue, and I'm just using my brush. I have a little pot of water at the side so you can wash your brush out so it doesn't get covered in glue. So I just put some glue onto your brush, and I'm just going to put some glue over the centre of the sunflower. Just put it on gently, and you only want a thin layer. Just stick that over there like that. Brush it on, and you only want it to go on the centre. And then what I'm going to do is just place over a little square of the mulberry paper and just press it down gently. Now this is only going to stick where the glue is, so just brush that down, press it down so it sticks down nicely. You might want to use the end of your brush just to push it down into the glue, and you can see it absorbing the glue there now. Just brush that over, and then that's done, that bit. Now we can also do the leaves at the same time because there's nothing touching, and do exactly the same with the leaves. If for some reason you're not going to do any more for a little while, make sure you put your brush into the water. So now I'm going to brush over here, this leaf here, exactly where I want it to stick. So keep your glue within the black lines. Like so. A bit more glue. You just need an ordinary PVA glue. This will dry clear. Wait till you see the results. Fantastic. I'm going to stick this piece of mulberry paper on next and just cover the leaf like so, and then just push it down into the glue so it absorbs the glue into the mulberry paper. Just push it down. You can use the tip of your brush, as I said. Next, repeat that process to all the other leaves here, and then let it dry. It won't take long. When the glue is dry on the mulberry paper, then just take the same brush, but with water this time, and just go around the outside of it. Just kind of, not right up to where you've glued, just leave a little bit so it'll fray nicely. Now the water's soaking into the mulberry paper now, because the mulberry paper's nice and fibrous. This will come away nice and easily. So just let that soak in just a few seconds, and then what you want to do is just start tearing the paper away, and as you tear it, all the fibres fray. So it's going to give you a nice kind of wispy look when it's finished, and then just push it down like so, and do exactly the same with your leaves. You can see the leaves there all nicely dried, and I've just got to go around the edge of them, starting with the bottom ones here. Now when you're going around the leaves with the water, if you hold it up, you can see the design coming through, so you know exactly where to put the water. And then just let that soak in a little while, and then pull it off like you have with the sunflower's head. So there you go, you've got the green and the brown mulberry paper stuck on the back there. Next we're going to do the flower head, and again you just do the same process, a little bit of glue and just put it on exactly where the petals are, and when you're brushing down the brown, make sure you brush it down from the centre outwards so you get all those fibres stuck down and giving you that kind of fluffy texture around the edges. So get those down first and then paint up to the edge of your sunflower. There's the glue all over the head of the sunflower now, going up right up to the edge. If you go over slightly, don't worry. And then what we're going to do is take some yellow mulberry paper and just stick that down over the top of the whole of the head of the flower now. Just press down gently, and then taking your brush and then just smooth it out. You might want to take the tip again. So when the flower had dried, I wet around the edge here and pulled it off and fluffed that out. Then after that I did the stem here. Now I've just added some more water to just wet around either side of the stem, and then I can start pulling this off either side, like so. If I can get hold of it. Come on then, you know you want to. Come on then. There you go. And that's all fluffed out there now. So when you turn it over, you've got the yellow and the brown, and you've also got the green there as well on that lovely one. Now what we're going to do is put glue over the whole of it here now at the back. Just spread the glue all over, mainly where the acetate is. You can put some on the back where the paper is, but you mainly want to cover the whole of the acetate area. Now I've covered the whole of the back here in glue. You don't have to go right to the centre here. And now I've got one more piece of mulberry paper, but in a natural fibre look. Choose which side you want, because there is a difference. I'm going to put the rougher side down and then just put it over so it overlaps the whole thing, and then press it down like so. Make sure it presses right up to the edge there. So when you turn it over, you can see it's stuck down there really well. And I'm just going to press down in between these fibres here so it really sticks to the back of the acetate. Now all you've got to do is let that dry for a while, but obviously that way up. When it's dry, which it is, just turn it over and you can see that you've got your foil on the top there, the design. Now all you've got to do is wet it again all the way around the edge so we can create that fuzzy effect. And then when it's soaked in the water, just pull off the edges and fluff it up. Let that dry. So now it's dry, you can see the acetate on the top, and on the back there it's all nice and dry, and I've put some double-sided tape. I've got a nice piece of textured card here which I folded over to make a card. Nice natural colours, and I'm just going to place that on there and stick down, and you can decorate that more if you wish, but there's a nice simple card using the acetate and mulberry paper. Now for this project we're going to do some glass painting technique, and we're going to use the acetate foil here with the roses on. Now first of all, take your acetate, your foiled acetate, and turn it over so you've got the black showing on the back side there. And I'm going to paint this rose. Now this is a great technique because those of you who've done glass painting before kind of, the bit you're not too sure of or the bit you don't like is actually all the outlining. But all that's done for you here. So if you outline, if you actually paint on the back here, and all I'm doing is going up to the outline here, all the way around the rose. Now you can just tip the glass paint up to the edge like so, and just go around the edge first. It doesn't matter if you go over the black lines because you're not going to see it from the other side. And I'm just gently dropping the paint onto the acetate and then just smoothing it around out like that. Any bubbles in there, just pick them up and just wipe them on a bit of tissue at the side of you. Didn't get that one, there you go, got it now. And then just keep adding the paint gently, not adding too much. This is so easy to do, and all I'm doing is covering the whole surface with some red paint. Now the surface tension here in the paint will actually keep it from spreading all over the place, so don't put too much on. And you can see how easy and quick it is to paint this rose. So there's the rose, completely painted, the rose head. Now if I clean my brush up, and all you've got to do is just give it a squeeze between a piece of tissue like so. Now one way of cleaning it out, because I'm going to use clear next, is just dip it into the clear and you'll still get some residue of red on there, and you can see how it's going all pink now. And then just squeeze the final bit out and your brush is nice and clean. You don't need to wash it in spirits or anything like that. So there you go, there's the paintbrush all cleaned up, and now what we're going to do is put some highlight into the rose, and I'm just going to drop it on, just like a drip. We call this the Barry technique, the drip, like so. And you can see how it's spreading out there now, and it'll just give you nice highlights on your rose. Now you must do this before the other red paint kind of gets a skin over it, because you want it to blend in nicely. I've got a bubble there, so just clean the end of your brush off and just pick it up on the end of your brush like that. And there's another one, and there you go, that's all you do. Now if you want to, we're just leaving that to excuse me, we're just leaving that to blend in, but if you want, you can flick it and blend it in a little bit extra yourself if you want to. There you go, very simple and easy to do. So paint all your roses first and then let them dry. Now I've already started painting the leaves here exactly the way that I painted the rose heads there, and all I'm using is a dark green and a light green. And again, just put your paint on the tip of your brush and just tease it up to the edge of where the dried red paint is. Now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm holding the bottle over the top of where I'm working, so if it should drip, it's going to drip where I'm actually applying the paint. So just a little tip there, take your bottle to where you're painting, don't have your brush miles away so it's going to drip all the way across the table before you even get to where you want the paint to go. And I'm just teasing that all the way up there like so. There you go. Clean your brush off I pride myself in using one tissue per project, and then I've got a little bit of light green paint here and just drip that into the Kelly green there and just swirl it around to get some nice highlights. There you go, then just let that dry. I've also painted the outside of the design here, the lattice work there, and then next, when it's dry, leave it a few hours or overnight, just trim down the side here with a pair of scissors. Now I have an aperture card here with a hole cut out that will fit this perfectly. If you don't have one, just measure it up and cut one out. And on the back I've put some double-sided tape. I'm just taking the last one off, and then I can stick this over, make sure it's going the right way, and that's the top. So I need to make sure that's the right way there, and then just align it over the top of the hole there, the aperture, and then just stick it down. And there you've got your card, beautifully finished. Now you can also change its appearance by slotting different mediums at the back. I've got some holographic film here on paper, and I'm just sliding that in. And look, I've just changed that now. I've got that lovely holographic effect at the back. For this technique we're going to use the poppies on the acetate here, and we're also going to use glitters, but you will need some PVA glue. Now our top tip is, when you're applying the glue, we like to do it from an outlining bag. Very simple to do. A triangle of greaseproof paper. Imagine an imaginary line down the middle here. That side's going to go down there. So you just turn it over, one move, that's all it is. You've got a little princess's hat there. Simple. That goes round the back, like that, so you've got that proper princess's hat. And now what I'm doing, I'm pushing the inside forward and pulling the outside back, so I'll get a nice fine point here. And I'll just squeeze that gently, and I've got a nice fine point. Hold it with your thumb and forefinger, and then fold over once, crease, fold over twice, crease, and there you've got a great outlining bag to fill with paint or glue, in this case, for fine application. Now I'm filling this bag up here now. Now you'll need to do it a third of the way up there. If you do any more, you're going to get glue all over the place. Put the lid back on there. Now what you have to do is squeeze those two ends together like that. Make sure you're pushing the glue down to the bottom there. And then these flaps either side, just fold one into the middle. Fold the opposite side into the middle, and you get that kind of chisel effect there. Turn it round, and then just fold over a thin strip, and then fold over again, and you're tightly just folding this over and working the glue down so it's in the bottom of the bag, and you can see there's no glue coming out there if you've done it right. If you've not, a little bit of glue comes out, it's not the end of the world. And then you just cut off a little bit off the tip there, and you've got a fine applicators. And the great thing about these, it's there you go, if I just squeeze a bit out, you can see where the glue coming out there. You can put it exactly where you want, and then when you're finished, you can return what glue's left in the bag into the bottle and throw the bag away. No more cleaning up all the fine nozzles, etc. Now take your acetate, turn it over so you can see the black side of it. Now we're going to do the black glitter here in the centre, and see I've got my outlining bag here with the glue in, and look how easy it is to apply the glue exactly where you want it. You don't want too much on here. Just squeeze a little bit and then just spread it out. Go around the edge of your design first, and then just fill in the centre. You can do that by dragging it from the outside. There you go, I've put my glue on there. That's all I need to do, that little bit there. And I'm going to put a little bit of black glitter over the top of this one, like so. And then just tap that off. And you've got the back there all glittered in. Now if I just move that, I'll put that back in the bag in a second. I'll just have another sheet of paper here. And then straight away, make sure you get all the bits of black off first. Give it a blow, like that. We'll just wipe it off. Right, what I'm going to do now is do just the poppy here. Now, as you're applying the glue, I say just be careful, just go around the outside first. Because you've got the black outline, which is quite thick, all you've got to do is go up to the edge. And you can go all the way around and apply the glue. Now, if you're going a bit slow, what I'd do is do a few peckles at a time. Now, because the glitter is all over the glue there at the back, you can go right up to the glitter with your next colour before it even dries. If you want it to dry in between, then fine, but there's no need to if you're careful. And now I'm just going to fill in between with the glue. So there you go, I've done all the whole of the flower there with the glue, and now I'm going to put red glitter over the top. Just sprinkle it over, and then tap it off. Now you can probably see on the opposite side there that the glue is white and opaque, but as that dries on the back, that will then go clear and all the glitter will show through perfectly. When you finish the poppies, then you can start on the leaves. And again, it's exactly the same technique, just squeeze a little bit of glue on. Now you can mix your different colours of green if you want to, add a little bit of blue, whatever you want. So I'm just going to do that first and put one green on first. Come on, out you come. So you're not wasting any, because that's going to tap off and then put back into the pot. There's the first bit of green. So there's the light glitter on there, and now I'm just going to add the darker glitter. Again, just push your glue up to where the glitter is finished there, and just squeeze a little bit of glue, spread it out, and then you can put your next colour of glitter on there. I'll put the darker one on this time. Now all the glue has dried and you can see the glitter coming through now perfectly. You've got the red poppies here and you've got the green leaves here, and I've even done green around the edge here as well, as you can see. Now what I've done, on the opposite side, I've put some foam strips, double-sided foam strips, and I've got an A5 card here. So I'm going to plonk that down there like that, and I've just put some glitter card, some dark blue and some light blue with some peel-offs around the edge. And if I just take the pieces of paper off the back of these now, like so, then I can position this right way up, obviously, onto the centre of the light blue board and press down. That's actually raised up now, the centre is there, and you can see how fantastic that looks. You can get that wonderful 3D look. You can even colour in the foils using gel pens. Very simple and easy technique. First of all, I've got a nice peach coloured gel pen here, and I'm just going to slowly colour in. Now just go up to the line of where the foil is and just add the peach. Try and go in one way if you can, it just looks nicer if you've got all the strokes going in the right way. A little bit of peach. Now you can do all the insides peach if you want to, and then go on to the pink. Just take the top off, or you can just do them at the same time so they blend in nicely together. And all I'm doing is just getting the gel pens on there and just blending them in. Just go up to the gold, and it goes on the gold, just flick it off with your finger or a tissue before it dries, and just colour that in. And obviously do the same with the leaves. Don't forget you can also do the leaves exactly the same way. I've just got a nice pale green one here, gel pen, just rubbing that on. And say don't go over the gold if you can help it. Just rub that on. And then I've got some darker green gel pen and I'm just blending those in. Now I've prepared a card ready. I've got a nice cream card here with a little bit of layering going on, some peel off, some nice pink and matching background paper, and I'm just going to stick this on. I've got some double-sided tape on the back, and let's find exactly where it's going. And then just stick it down. This is a really simple technique using the foiled papers and highlighters. So simple to use, these highlighters. And all I'm doing is just going straight over. You can do these really quick as well. Now you've got the point there, so if you need to get in there and do a delicate area, otherwise it's very quick to actually colour in. So I've done the pink here first, and of course I'm just going up to the gold and then just streaking it down. Now I can do the opposite way here. I've got an orange one here, and before it dries I can just streak that in like that. Look how quick this is to do. Just turn that round like that, and before it dries completely just give it a damp with a tissue and just wipe off like so, and it takes the colour right off the gold, so that's all that's coloured in is the gold. Do exactly the same with the leaves here. I'm just colouring in really quickly. You don't have to be too fussy. That's a light one. I've also got the darker one here, if I can move that round. And just blend the light and the dark in together. And I've also got the stem here, and I'm going to do in the dark. There you go. How quick was that? And then again, tissue, just give it a wipe, and it wipes it off the gold. Now also, if you see here around the edge, I've done a two-tone. I've done the pink and the orange. I've already put the orange on here, and all I'm going to do now is take the pink across so you get that two-tone effect. Just like that. So simple and easy to do. Give it a wipe, and there you go. It's finished. And there's the finished card. I've just laid it up with some dark pink, some light pink, and some pink with a pattern on, a few peel-offs, happy birthday, and you've got a lovely pink card. Another quick technique is using the dark coloured backgrounds with the foil on the top, and these work fantastic with metallic pencils. Now I'm just taking the metallic pencil. I'm going to start here in the middle. I've just got a nice brown pencil. It works really well on dark backgrounds. Then I'm going to take the silver, and I'm just going to stroke the silver. You can go straight over the gold. It won't stick to the gold. You can just wipe that off as well. And all I'm doing is just gentle strokes towards the edge of the petal of the flower. So that's all the dog roses done now, and I've put the kind of dusky pink on there. See how fantastic that looks. Now I've got to do the leaves, which are quite simple. First of all, I'm going to add a darker metallic green. As I say, I'm just rubbing it all in the same direction for each of the leaves. You don't have to be too careful. And then the light green next. Simple, anybody can do this. And then when you've finished it, all you've got to do is take a tissue, a nice little tissue, and just give it a polish. And all the pencil that's on the gold will come off, and you're left with a beautiful image at the end. Now I've got a square 6-inch card here, and I've just put some blackened blue tartan background paper on there to match. Now I'm just going to stick this down in another way, so I'm going to hold this down here like that, position it exactly how you want it. I'm going to position it there like that. Now instead of using glue to stick it down, I'm going to use peel-offs. I've got a little one on my finger there, and I'm just going to put these across the corner so they overlap, and then just stick that down. Turn it round, and take another one, and make sure it goes in the same direction. Just stick that over the corner, and this is holding it down, that's all you need. Turn it round, the next one then can go on the corner there, and on the corner there. Make sure they're all going the right way so it looks right. There you go. And there's the card finished. All I've done is added a few more peel-offs down the edge here. Now, I think that'd be good enough to give to a man's card, because even though it's got flowers on, it's got a masculine feel to it. Now for this technique we're just using chalks. Now I've already chalked this bit up the leaves and round the edge. I'm going to do the centre now. I'm going to use brown and yellow and a bit of orange. So I've got the brown on my little cotton bud here, and I'm just applying the chalk there, and then just take a little tissue and just wipe it off a little bit. And then I can add some yellow. And I've got some yellow on the end here, and it's really easy to apply. You just rub it on, and it doesn't matter if it goes over slightly. That just adds to the ambience of it. Do you like that, Barry?
Ambience.
Yeah.
Spell it.
Ambiance. Don't judge me. All I'm doing is just adding the chalk, just rubbing it in. And that's as simple as that. Just wipe it off a little bit of tissue there. And there you go. Finished one sunflower. And there's the sunflower chalked up now, just applied to a card with a little bit of, I've got a white matte and layering with a gold sparkly border, and I've just put some lace background paper on the back of the card there. Well, did you put the kettle on?
I did.
Well, can you put it on again, because I'm a bit thirsty.
Okay.
Did you enjoy that, Chucks? Ain't there a lot of things you can do with those fantastic foils? Now, we don't just have the flower foils. Have a look round. We've got lace foils. We've got all sorts of different foils. And you can do all the different same techniques with those as well. Now, listen, get your chalks out. Get your watercolours out. Get cracking on those foils. Excuse me, Daddy was speaking.
Sorry.
Give me a hand. Naughty.